Hi guys, it's Kat from the Motorhome travel website Wandering Bird, where we share tips and tricks for touring the UK and Europe by motorhome and camper. Now I've got a fun one for you today because I know lots of people are planning their future trips for 2021. Please make it be better than 2020. One of the places that we love to visit and look at when we're looking at trips and planning future adventures are motorhome travel blogs and websites where people share details of their itineraries and places they've been and things. One thing I discovered recently is that some people, although they've seen us on YouTube and they may even be in our motorhome Facebook group, which you are more than welcome to join, I will leave the link below for you, but some people didn't realise that we have a website or a motorhome travel blog, to give it its proper title. And that's the place that we actually share most of our trips, our itineraries, things that we've got up to, mistakes that we've made. That's our main focus, more than the YouTube channel, funnily enough. And it's not just us, there are quite a few motorhome travel blogs around there. So what I thought I would do is put together a short list for you of 10 of the ones that we really like. Now, doing a list of any type is always really dangerous, and I get a bit nervous about doing lists, especially when it involves other people, because I'm scared I'm either going to forget somebody who I really like and I've just completely forgotten about, or that there isn't going to be enough space to include everybody and people are going to get hurt and offended and upset. So I'm going to say from the very outside that there are lots of travel blogs, whether motorhome or van life or road trips or just general travel inspiration websites. There are lots of them out there. There's no way I can list them all. I'm just not even going to try. So I have tried to find 10 quite different ones who focus on a different point. So I don't mean any offence whatsoever to anyone who's not included on that list. I've just tried to find some different things that they look at. There's not 10 of the same types of motorhome travel blog. So if you're looking at planning your trips, whether it's for 2021 or 2022, or just want some inspiration and things to fun read over the Christmas holidays, then here are some ideas for you.
Good time. We're chasing every moment, all the good nights. We're always looking out and it's a good life. We go around the world for a show. And it's a good time. We're chasing every moment, all the good nights. We're always looking out and it's a good life. No, we are never letting this go.
Now you may have heard of some of these because quite a few of them have got YouTube channels, funnily enough, something about motorhome and travelling, and just lends itself to YouTube videos. So you may well have known about some of these people, but you might not know that they have a website that goes along with their channel. So on this particular video, we're going to be focusing just on their website, and at some point in the future, I will do some travel bloggers, which are YouTube channels, who are also going to be good to follow. But for now, let's just focus on websites and blogs. Now, before I get started, I'm going to run through the list and show you a brief glimpse on their website. I will leave the link to the page where you can find all of the details on how to find all of these different blogs, and that will be in the show notes below. So in no particular order, let's dive in. Number one on the list is Artour. Now Artour is one of our favourite motorhome travel blogs. They've been exploring for years, they write really well, they make you feel like you're in there in the van with them. They also, word of warning, will make you try and figure out how you can downsize your life and run away in a motorhome. They are one of the reasons that I downsized my life and ran away in a motorhome. So be warned before you visit their blog, but they're great and they've got some fantastic photos and stories to share and places that they have been. One of our favourite things about the Artour blog, apart from all the stories and photos that they share, is they've done extensive tours in Norway, which was really useful for us when we went up to Norway, but also they've done a lot of time in Morocco, and they've got really good base knowledge about touring in those places. They've also written a couple of books which you might find interesting, and again the link to that is below. Number two on our list is Tread the Globe. Now these guys are huge on YouTube, so you've probably heard of them if you follow van life, but they are currently travelling around the world in a camper van. 2020 was not the year to set off on a driving around the world expedition, and they have been stuck in Turkey for a long time, but they're still sharing, they're still exploring, they're still having a grand old time. So they're great, and they again are a really lovely couple and a lot of fun to follow. Next up, if you are looking at selling everything and living full-time in a motorhome, we've actually got a couple of blogs which you might be interested in. First are our friends Tash and John from Life Beyond Brick. Now they sold up everything, moved full-time and still live full-time in a motorhome with their 3 cats. And for anybody who's looking at taking their cats, their blog and their social media is a wealth of information because they share a lot of the trials and tribulations of travelling full-time with cats. Quite a few of us travel with dogs, but these guys go with cats. And it's quite nice to get that different balance, as well as the whole full-time motorhome living in. So Life Beyond Brooks is a good one to check out. While we're on the subject of living in a motorhome full-time and yet still working, there is Darren from the Urban Motorhome. Now again, he's a massive YouTuber. You've probably heard of him if you follow motorhome YouTube channels, but he's also got a website, and that website is quite interesting to read, and it can also help you find different information that you want to. If you're interested in living but staying sort of in one area whilst you work, which is roughly what he does. So that's another good one and a goldmine of information for you to look at. Still keeping with the spending most of your life in a motorhome, it's quite hard at the moment because a lot of the people who were full-time motorhomers have obviously had to stop and calm down, a bit like we have during 2020. But people who are mostly full-timers and spend most of their life on the road are the motorhomers, Karen and Miles. They are fantastic and their photos are just astronomical. And their blog has got all sorts of really, really useful information about travelling Europe long term, which of course is going to change. We won't mention the B word on this particular video, although I am going to do a whole update on that and things which are going to change and affect your travelling. So that'll be coming probably just after Christmas. Another couple who are pretty much full-time on the road are Sam and Claire from Next Stop Everywhere. They were going to do an epic tour of Iceland in their motorhome. Sadly, it didn't go ahead, but they have been spending a lot of time during lockdown in Denmark, and they're now exploring sort of Central and Eastern Europe in their van. And it's really interesting seeing where they are and the different ways that Europe are reacting to the situation that we're in at the moment. So they've got a lot of information on their website too. Coming from a totally different angle of motorhoming is a blog that we actually spoke about recently when we did an interview with Hannah from Winterized, and she focuses pretty much entirely on winter motorhome skiing. And that's really fascinating. Her blog and the website that they've built up around that is all about how to use your motorhome in the mountains, staying safe, finding airs and campsites and things in the winter. We did a whole chat with her if you want to learn out more about that, but her website is a superb place to get some information from about that. If you've ever considered being a motorhome warden and spending some time whilst you run a campsite and then you go off and explore properly throughout the winter when the campsite is shut, then a blog that you might want to check out is called Our Leap of Faith. Paul and Michelle decided to sell up and they've become campsite wardens for some of the time, and they spend a lot of time travelling in their motorhome. If you want to pop down to Spain, they've got an awful lot of information in their blog about travelling to Spain. To finish up, we've got two very different but really interesting blogs. Now, first up are Adventure Wheels, and this is written by a young couple, Carla and Stephen. I was lucky enough to meet them at an NEC show, and they really are a lovely, lovely couple. They like exploring the UK. Admittedly, they're in a caravan, not a motorhome, but the stuff that they share could be applied to either. And they enjoy spending a lot of time outdoors and find some beautiful places that you might not otherwise have heard of. What I really like about their blog is the way that they deal with accessible travel. Carla's in a wheelchair full-time, and they share a lot of the tips on how to tour, have a road trip, find places whilst needing to deal with the issues that being in a wheelchair brings up. And that, I think, is a lot of people are affected by that, and there's a lot of really good tips on there that they have to share. And lastly, are Shampers and Campers. Now, admittedly, they are less of a website and more of a podcast. But Pete and Bridie from Shampers and Campers, who I actually did a chat with and we did a video with them a little while ago, they have made a lot of effort into putting out a podcast recently, all about motorhoming, the different aspects of motorhoming. They even managed to get a tour up to Norway over the summer, so they've been sharing some of their adventures then. And they have a really nice way of putting into words what they've been dealing with over the year. And it's nice, I listen to them all the time whilst I'm walking the dog. I like podcasts when I'm walking the dog. So there's lots on there that it's a different way of getting information. So for those of you who don't necessarily like reading and perhaps can't sit down and watch a video, then you might find a podcast more to your liking. And that concludes our list of 10 UK motorhome travel blogs that you might find useful for planning your future trips. I hope one of them or several of them appealed to you. I'll leave the link to the post where you can find all of their details below in the show notes. There's also a link in there if you are planning your future road trips. By all means, come and grab our free road trip planner. It just helps keeps your thoughts all in order and you can figure out where you want to go and when. I'm also going to leave the link for our Secret Tips library, and that is a library that we've put together on our blog, which has got lots of different checklists and ideas and itineraries and things that you can look at. So by all means, you might find that useful. You will need a password to enter it, and if you click on the link below, it will take you to a form that you can fill out and the password will be emailed to you. I hope you found that useful. I hope when you are planning your trips for 2021, it gives you some ideas. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you for all of your support and your likes and your comments and your general interactions, whether it's on YouTube or on our blog or in the Facebook group. It's been a challenging year for all of us, and it's been really nice to be able to get out of that space sometimes and just talk about travel and adventures and future plans and things that are a little bit less dramatic than what we've been going through this year. So thank you all very much for that. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and that you and your family stay safe and well, even if you can't be in the same place. We're really struggling this year because we can't see any of our family. And it is tough, very tough, but I hope you guys are all okay and safe and well. We are going to be putting out a video of the best of 2020 just because it's tradition. It could be a very short video, but that will be coming out sometime between Christmas and New Year. So I will see you again before the end of 2020, but I hope you have a wonderful festive period. And for now, that's all from us. Take care. Bye.
We are out. We're talking about a good time. We're chasing